Yeah, we will talk about plans versus reality, how they can not match. Sometimes they match, mostly they don't. So a lot of teams deal with that, but only if you would like to admit that there is a problem laying there. So we'll talk about that. So again, show of hands. Raise your hand if you ever thought your plan looked perfect until the reality started. Okay, yeah. It's not only about work, but also about, I don't know, personal life, travel plans, and all other things. Usually what we plan can look perfect in the plan, but when it starts, everything messes up. Let's imagine the story. There is a sprint. A team planned 100 of hours of work, but when you look at timesheets, only 47 were logged. Where were the other 53? Like, hard to guess if you don't ask. So actually hard to guess. You ask the team, were they busy? They will say, yes, we were at the full capacity. Some will say that they did not have enough work scheduled. Some will say they are overloaded. But you would need some data to prove and to see where actually the problem was. Why it matters to track planned versus actual? There are a few major problems that can arise if plans don't actually match the reality. Burned budgets, especially if you're, I don't know, working like an outsourced company and you commit to a specific budget for a project, but then in the end, it's instead of 1,000 of build hours, you have 2,000. That's already a problem. Or overloaded and underloaded teams. As for me, both are equally bad. Underloaded, you can do more with them. Overloaded, maybe they will be soon burned out and leave the company or ask for a big raise. Broken trust with stakeholders. So everyone expects, if the plan is there, for it to be at least more or less a track. If things go off the track, probably you will not have this customer next time. Or overtime can also happen when a team charges you in the end more than they were supposed to. So not sure if you knew, but there is a statistics that poor planning is responsible for 32% of project failures. That's almost more than one third. And as for me, that's something that you can adjust and that you can improve. So let's talk about how you can do that. And we'll start from Jira, because that's what everyone here uses, at least from what I heard from you. So Jira is great. It was built as a firstly bug tracking system. That's why we used to call tasks issues. Right now, as you may already notice in your UI, it's moving to work item. Slowly, but still, it's not really built for comparing your plans versus actuals at scale. So where do you have your planned data? It is stored in work items or roadmaps. Actual work is basically work logs across all of your tasks. If you want to look at scale, it's difficult actually to do that. And comparing both of them is even more difficult. So the question is, how do you close this gap, and how would you move from we thought we'd get this done to actually we know what's happening, we know how to improve it, and we know how to plan ahead. At Reliex, we are a marketplace partner. We spent time discovering how to improve this question and how to answer it. And we learned something simple, that in the end, better planning starts with better visibility. So you need to know what's your plan. Everyone needs to see that, not only a project manager, but it would be nice for team as well to realize what's planned ahead for them. And then better visibility does start with the right tools. So ActivityTimeline is an add-on for Jira. We are a Platinum Marketplace partner. We have all the certifications. So if you are on cloud, and as I heard, most of you are on cloud in here, so your data will be secured with us, maybe with the help of the backup app that you just heard of. And as you can see, not only we say that we are great, but also our customers do. So Activity Timeline combines all of those planning and time tracking features in the end to give you this planned versus actual. So this is a place where you can visualize everyone across the whole portfolio of your projects, across all sprints, or doesn't matter which planning you are using. Is it the Kanban or those sprints or so? And you will get those timesheets insights as well as comparing those planned versus actual in one place. So because not sure if maybe another show of hands if anyone in here is using Excel for planning still? Yes. Okay, not many, but yeah. I'm not saying Excel is bad, but I'm saying that maybe it is time to move on, because to compare in the end this data, you do need to keep track of that, to bring this data together, somehow compare, build some charts on your own, and so on. But it can be automated, and you can have this data like daily updated, and you can visualize it with no problem. So let's say another team will be using our app for both of the purposes, where you will see in one place what you have planned. In the same place, you will see what actually happened. And either you are going into details or you are just looking at the high-level picture, you can get all of that. Let's see how we can move from chaos to clarity and basically see how the plans change. So a short video in here. Let's imagine we have Oliver. He's a designer that suddenly knows C++. He has capacity 8 hours a day. Then he decided to take 2 days off on Thursday and Friday, maybe full day. Yes. And then me as a manager, for example, I'll be scheduling for him some work. On Monday, he has a monthly meeting of the company that will take 3 hours of his time. All right, I see what is left of his capacity. I can go ahead and schedule what's in his backlog or our backlog. I see how his workload changes, again, across the whole portfolio of our projects. I can change the deadlines just to make sure he's not over-allocated. And let's say we build his plan for a week. Then let's see what will Oliver do. The meeting is already considered as a workload. He does not need to go and say, I spent 3 hours on meeting. Then the workload, he goes ahead, picks the tasks that he was working on, and mentions how much time he worked on it. He can also see that he needs to log that required time is 24 hours. So the small chart helps him to see and understand what's his required hours. He can also log time for a couple of days at the same time, and okay, here he is. He has all of his work logs. He can move them around if needed. Maybe he made a mistake and update it all in one place. And one more work log. I do prefer when people log time the same day they work on it, but usually it happens on Friday. So let's imagine he was doing it in the end of the week. The third step would be to review and adjust. What can we see? How we can visualize what we just saw. There can be a small timesheet progress report. The red color would bring our attention right away to this number. So planned versus actual is 121%. Oliver may think, did I work more than I had to? Was it okay? What went wrong? We can also have a chart and quickly see that, okay, there's also a gray bar. That's total available capacity. The blue one is scheduled time, and then the green is logged time. So actually, he worked more than he was planned, but he worked less than his required capacity. So here the problem was that the manager did not schedule for him all the time, so all the hours. That's already a question to manager. You can have a look at more details and review planned versus actual at the task level and see for each task that he was working on, what was the estimation, how much time he spent, what's remaining, and quickly see what were the statuses. And I would say if there is a difference between estimated versus log time, like, I know, 1, 2, 5 hours, that's still fine. If it's 100, you may have a problem. And you need to have a look what went wrong there. But this was example of one person, and one person is just one piece of the puzzle. So you would usually look at the whole team, at the project, or so. So let's say if you are looking at our two teams, Scrum team, sample team, you can quickly see their individual workload, capacity, and consistency. If someone is usually overworked, if someone is working less, and who had most of the days off. That's also tracked in here. You can also have charts, let's say, at the team level, and see overall what is the tendency. If it's more or less plans versus reality match, you are at good hands. If you always see big gap, definitely you need to review something and make some changes. Again, the per task one, but in this case, for example, generated for the sprint. So you can pick your sprint and see overall where was the problem with the sprint, which tasks took longer, which SMEs had them, and how you can improve that. So reviewing those reports that you can build a nice dashboard of them, you need to keep an eye on those big differences. Again, few hours, not bad, but big numbers can cause burned budgets, burned people, and so on. Repeated under overestimation that the trend is not improving, and teams too busy to plan. I understand that maybe not everyone loves planning. Usually it's better just to have a Kanban board and take a task and do it when you have time. But without it, like growth is more difficult. So you do need to have some kind of plan. So what you can do tomorrow is start with small steps. Start to track time, maybe in the end of the week, or just have a task, like a general task where users log time to. Also, planning does not have to be on the task level from the start. If you want just to allocate a person, okay, this person is working 50% of his or her time on this project. You can also do that for the start, so just so you see if the numbers actually anyhow match. And then if you do implement it, users start using it, you may go ahead and actually start with more detailed planning. And important is to adjust estimates based on those trends. So not only review them, but also make some changes. So the aha moment will be where you actually start plan better, to have happier teams, and so there will be fewer questions, where did the time go, and more of the questions like what we can do better to avoid this. As I said, it's habits becomes like when you repeat it over time. So you can start with the weekly reviews, then have a look at the monthly trends, and then quarterly maybe make some global adjustments. Because it's also a culture issue. So you do need to, if you don't have that in the company, you do need to change a little bit the culture and the perception of people for them to either start logging time or start planning time. While we have still 5 minutes, I'll share a story of one of our customers, James Gibson. He's a group international manager at IMCD Group. So why they came to us, so the first reason was inconsistent time tracking. And that's because they did not have in Jira a place where they can see, where users could see actually if they tracked time for the day and overall if they did it, just like going through tasks to see that. And there was a limited visibility how they plans matched reality. So they wanted obviously something very close to Jira, so they did not have to do much work. So they just could push users a little bit to track time and then get the results. So ActivityTimeline was the first one. They liked it, they stuck with it, and so the importance is that they stuck with it. So they made it a habit for users to track time and for them to review this data. So some of the timesheet data that it improved for them, that invoicing time is down from 5 minutes to 1 minute. But as for plans versus reality, they did improve visibility into project costing, resource allocation, and ultimately that led to better project outcomes. So they, fortunately, right now are not in those 32% that have poor planning and project failures, but on the other side of it. So to wrap it up, Jira is great for structure. We all love it. Activity Timeline helps with clarity. Then you have your brain and coffee that we all have in here. Yeah. That is it for me. Thank you so much for staying till the end. If you have questions, we still have a couple of more hours of this wonderful conference. So feel free to find us at the booth.
Hello, thank you for your talk. I have a small question regarding time tracking. I liked what your product does, but we are not tracking time at the moment, and I feel like that is a big part of what the product does. And my question was if we could still get value out of your product without tracking time.
Yes. Thanks. So the short question is yes. So the product consists of three main parts. It's planning, time tracking, and reporting. So planning and reporting you will get. You will not, unfortunately, have those planned versus actual reports that I showed you, but you will get planning reports like planned utilization, trends of plant utilization. How you there will be charts that will show you, okay, this is how much time we allocated for this project, for this sprint, for this epic, for this feature, and so on. And again, you will have all of the data for the all of the data, all of the planning data. So you can completely use it just for the planning.